All right, you ever wonder what it's like to actually pour melting aluminum into a watermelon maybe?
Or a pumpkin?
What about even a coconut?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, everybody, back again doing a little melting day. Do you ever think of what hot molting aluminum would do to these fruits in front of us?
We got a watermelon, a pumpkin, a pineapple, a coconut, a squash, and two little mini pumpkins.
Gonna melt some aluminum and pour it into the inside of these fruit. How are we gonna do that?
Well, I'm gonna cut the tops off, and I got a knife, I got some spoons. I don't think I'll take anything out of it. I think the aluminum will melt the inside, but I am gonna cut the watermelon and cut some of it out. And I got knives and whatever I need, a drill, knives.
Should be good. Should be good. From this side, from a melting side, I got a couple different size crucibles here because I think the watermelon I might need more and might need a little bit bigger. So we'll see. If not, I'll stick with the small one the whole time. I've got some wire in here. This is aluminum wire. You've seen me melt. If you watch any videos, you've seen me melt before. If you haven't, hit that subscribe and follow us. Keep an eye on what we do. And I've got some miscellaneous stuff inside here just to get it started. I like to get it started melting. And then I'm going to use some of the bars that we had to actually melt. I got fire bricks up here. Because of these being rounded, it's a little tougher to hold some of them. So I'll actually use this when I go and pour. We'll use lids to hold them in place. But then we'll go and pour them and go from there. All right. I'm going to let T start cutting. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to actually set up outside so you won't see all of that. I'll come back to you whenever we're done and start doing some melt. All right.
The reason we're putting holes in them is because of the gas from the aluminum. We don't want these to explode and be dangerous for us. So here we go. We'll try to get this out. This don't have a handle on it, but I think we're gonna be all right. I probably should eat some of it. It looks good, smells good. So we're just gonna take just enough out. I don't think we need to take much out. I'm sure that the aluminum's going to melt it all down because you know watermelon's mostly water anyway. If anyone's ever knows me, I'm really dangerous with a knife. There's that. I'll do this pineapple. And I'm gonna have B come back and drill this pineapple or coconut.
I did actually pull a little bit of, I got my crucible out there and set up. Threw some bricks out there real quick. I have tools still that I'll have to get, but we'll go ahead and drill this out just to get this going. And we're putting big holes in it just to make sure that, okay, good one. You want to pour this in there?
Yep.
Now it's probably good to drink because I drilled all the way into it. I didn't want to drink it because I'm sure it has the liquid inside. I got a little drill there. The reason I'm doing a bigger drill again is make sure we get a good pour. Made a little bit of a mess on that one. It's okay.
The reason we're doing these two little ones is because they're so little and cute.
And there's seeds in all of these. It'll be interesting to see how it works. We'll push the seeds away. Will it leave a nice impression inside. Not real sure. Be interested to see how it turns out.
Alright, that's all that.
All right, now we'll push this aside and we'll be right back. Show you guys the pour, start doing the melt, get these set up to start pouring into.
So as I normally set up my area, I'll put fire bricks down and then put everything on it so the heat's not going through the concrete. Here I'm putting fire bricks down, but then I'm putting metal pans on top of the fire bricks. Reason being is when I put the fruit down, I'm actually going to put them in the metal pans. I don't know what's going to happen, so as I pour these, if they go through the skin of the fruits, at least I'll have the metal pans that they'll stop and they'll sit into so it doesn't pour all over the concrete. So that's the intention of it, but that's what you see me doing here, is just prepping it and setting it up ahead of time. So we'll keep working. Not showing all the process of the melt itself because this project really was about testing what it would do inside the fruit. So just cleaning and continuing to melt here. But again, it's really about the fruit itself, so I want to really see what the impact's going to be on the inside of the fruit and go from there.
I'll clean this up a little bit. And I'll put one more bar in it. You see me put some bars in earlier. The bars are pretty clean. The original aluminum. So always want to make sure that I started with. I always want to make sure I'm cleaning it. Yeah, it's pretty clean. A little bit on the top. But it's actually pretty clean. As mentioned, I'll put one more bar in there. We'll let it warm up a little bit. And then we'll do our first pour.
I always laugh when I rewatch these videos because you see me walk off screen and a second later I'm back on screen. That's the power of editing. Just trying to save time for you guys so you're just seeing the work being done, not the off-camera work.
It's looking good. You see me put these fruits in the metal pans. Reason being is I've never done this before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. If it ends up spilling over, we have it in the metal pan, so we're safe. I put the fire bricks underneath it, so won't get the concrete warm. We'll do the squash first. I'll probably have to heat a little bit more for the pineapple. pour a little more.
I think you go right to the pineapple. You have plenty in there.
I didn't exactly show the cooling process. I poured some water on some, put some in the water, but you see me, I just moved them off to the side after they were cooled down. So I didn't really go through that process. I didn't have one exact process that worked. Wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but I ended up putting water on it, black bucket on the side, and dumping them in the water as well. So I'll do that with all of them. The pumpkin was not shooting the aluminum out, but it definitely was lifting the aluminum up inside. Again, very surprising. Didn't expect this at all.
Think that's good?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah.
Think that's good?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah.
The smoke coming out is actually a steam, very hot, so we had to be very careful with not just the aluminum coming out, but the steam coming out as well. I saw a little bit of what I called the bubbling with the pineapple and some really pressuring the whole thing up inside the pumpkin. Not that bad. The coconut is where I started to be concerned a little bit for my own safety as well as the wife's. This was shooting the aluminum up and out of that coconut quite a bit. So I had to be careful with that, but as you can see in a closer up view, it was definitely shooting out. And if you look at the concrete, it was all over the concrete afterwards.
Back yourself up.
Think that's enough?
Yeah.
So the mess you see on the concrete is mainly from that coconut. You can tell how much shot out of that coconut.
Tell me if it starts coming out that hole.
Yeah, I'm watching. Looks like it wants to.
When it's under.
Is that whole side the resident? I'll check this out. That's crazy.
Hi everybody, we're back. It's the next day. Seems like seconds for you guys, which it was. We let these cool down a little bit. A lot of different reactions than I expected, to be honest. Completely did not expect. Didn't get enough aluminum in these just because they were full. And they eventually lowered down, so we'll see how they turn out, how they look on the inside. The coconut really shocked me, and it made us do a few things different with the watermelon. Because of the coconut, the fluid was inside. There's fluid in all of them, but not too bad as much. This was literally bubbling up the aluminum and shooting the aluminum outside. You see this here. These are specks of stuff that landed on top of this block that was shooting out of the coconut. It also got the watermelon hot, so we decided to carve a little bit more out of the inside of the watermelon because of what happened. Tried to eliminate some of the moisture, so to speak. Ended up, because it was so hot on the one side, it actually thinned part of it. We joked around. The wife's like, hey, let's put duct tape on it. And the duct tape fixes anything. We put duct tape on it, and that aluminum did not pour through. You see it got hot? Did not pour through. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take tear these down, take the aluminum out of each of them, see what they look like, and then probably clean them up and finish it up. So while T cuts these open, I'm going to take the coconut next door, actually use a saw so it's a little easier to cut, and I'll be right back with it. All right.
So I won't open them all the way up yet until B comes back, so he could see the results with all, with you guys too, not just me. That's a little thing you fell off. Nope. Okay. Oops. I can get it. Looks pretty cool.
So one thing that you can't really see in here, but T starts looking off to the side. What she heard was me next door. When I was cutting the coconut open, the aluminum inside the coconut actually got caught in the saw and kind of blew the case up on me. So that's why she goes off screen. She had to check on me.
All right. I'm back. Yeah. Didn't work as well as I thought it did. So open it up with the saw. Ended up turning out okay. I cut it in half. You want me to show it?
Yep, show Show it.
So I cut it in half, but I ended up catching the ball, and then all this blew out on me. So, to be honest, it's a perfectly round ball
That's super
inside, except where we stopped pouring. But I was impressed with that. Let's get the rest of them open.
There you go. I don't know they're all gonna fit in there.
Probably not. I can get something
This
else.
thing, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we did it for,
Yeah.
remember? So we just do it like that. We can make some,
There you go.
okay, go ahead.
Did not get a lot in this one.
Okay. Let's do the pineapple next.
Yeah, we'll clean the seeds out. Clean this up, see how it looks.
This also, because we didn't go all the way down, it only went to, you know, where you think it would melt it, it didn't.
Yeah, it
So,
didn't. It cooled pretty
It's,
quick. Again, we'll clean these up
Yep,
and see how they look. I'll do one of these.
other one.
So this is kind of cool.
Oops.
So it actually did give it a little bit of the inside of it. Kind of neat.
Yeah, you can see like the seeds.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Again, we'll wash all these up. Use a wire brush on them.
You want to do that one, and I'll do the watermelon.
Okay.
Alright. That looks really cool.
So this ended up looking like the watermelon or the pumpkin itself. That looks pretty cool. Again, we'll clean all these up.
And then the watermelon. It looks like the bottom of the watermelon. But it didn't pour like where the hole was, where we duct taped it.
Yeah, it didn't
There's
slip
no-
through.
It didn't.
It did over time heat. The heat from it melted it through, but I was shocked by that. We definitely poured over top, and it was just a thin layer of the outside, so you definitely could pour them. It didn't turn out like I had thought they would. The pumpkin turned out pretty cool. These turned out pretty cool. But it's something we tried, something we wanted to have fun with and give it a shot. So let me clean these up, and then we'll get back and finish up the video. All right. All right, we're back. Yeah, I've changed some clothes again. Coconut kind of blew up on me, let's be honest. Made a mess. So, but we got these out. You saw that. I cleaned them up. I grind them down. I didn't show you all of that, but I didn't know how they were going to turn out. This here was the watermelon itself. The funny thing about that is when you look over here, you see this little bump. So when we were doing this, we carved the inside out. And if I hadn't told you in the video, I'll explain why when we get to the coconut. But it got a little warm and actually created a little divot inside there. We thought it was going to blow through. And I'm not joking. We only put, the wife's like, hey, let's try duct tape. Duct tape fixes everything. We put duct tape on the outside of the watermelon. You would have saw that. It did not pour through. Now, there was a little bit of skin or rind, and then the watermelon, then the duct tape, but it did not pour through the duct tape. And you can see the little indentation there, so it went above that mark. But it's kind of neat. It did form to the bottom of the watermelon itself. Kind of neat, but it was as it's pouring, it mixed with the water. And I've seen aluminum poured into water. This, pouring it with a little amount of water, it actually was bubbling the aluminum out, shooting it up and out. Very dangerous. Then we have the pumpkin itself. The pumpkin's kind of cool. Actually, you can see all the way through it. This side's rough because we didn't pour it all the top, just so far in. But it did form to the bottom of it. It was kind of cool, really
cool.
Thought that was neat. Then you got to the coconut. Now the coconut was the first one out. We went from smallest to largest, and coconut was the first one. It still had some of the coconut oil or coconut water inside of it. And that was when you watched the video, you saw aluminum was shooting out of it. That's what made us clear more of the liquid out of the watermelon. It was not the safest. There's some concerns there. This is a pineapple. Did a pineapple.
We just didn't carve it all the way through.
Yeah, we thought the melted the aluminum would actually carve it itself. It really didn't. So we could have carved more of that. It's still a little neat, but we could have carved more of that. I need to pour it over. I kind of try to leave that on just for a visual effect. Same with this one. This one was a squash. Again, it went inside there, poured just a little bit, and then poured over. We tried not to dig into it because we wanted to see this structure. And the same with these two small ones. These were the small pumpkins. Really was neat how I poured around the seeds and whatnot. So these are actually the smallest, but these were pretty cool. So on this channel, we do a lot of things we're learning. We're trying to test different things out, see how they work. This was something we were joking around one day, talking about molding a pumpkin. And I said, hey, how about we pour one on the inside of a pumpkin? And the pumpkin did decent. I like that. But what I will say is the coconut and the watermelon, because it had so much liquid inside, even the pumpkin had a little bit of liquid and actually bubbled up a little bit, but not bad. These two were. They were rather dangerous. So I do not recommend trialing this. We tried it and tested it just to see how it did, but I do not recommend this. You just want to be careful with anything you're doing, and these were not the most careful pours that I've done. Probably the most dangerous ones, I'll say, that I've done. So let's be careful out there. We enjoy you watching. Keep watching. Hit that subscribe button. We try to put videos out every Monday and Thursday, different varieties. So check them out. Let us know what you like, and then leave comments. We'll go from there. All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe.